siento medio tonto. Y mientras más te acercas, más nervioso me pongo. Si te pasas de fresca, juro que no respondo. Muévelo, muévelo.
World's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
It's Homer to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep center field, carrying, and it's gone.
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a line shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
As we approach our final match of the week in Season 18, we see two pitching specialists duke it out with seeding on the line. After another scorching start to their campaign, we have seen this squad full of familiar faces continue their rise to the top of the XBL standings with no letup. Now, it is their chance to have their name glorified on the big stage and put an exclamation mark on their Season 18 run. Facing them is a greedy former champion who is eager to flash their former self for all to see. A team built on spice and pitching hopes to snatch a playoff spot and do it in dramatic fashion against one of the league's top dogs. It is Oxbox and the Holograms squaring off against ZLATANIMAL and his spicy habaneros. Welcome to XBL Match of the Week.
Hello, everybody. Oh, I got this thing a little bit messed up. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. We're here with our XBL edition of Match of the Week for our final week of Match of the Weeks on the year. After a great AA game with the same booth, Mist and I on Thursday, now we get to see a real pitcher's treat between Zlat and Ox tonight. But how are you doing, Mist? You excited for this one?
Yeah, I mean, you're always excited when you get an urban to get you going. I mean, I think you could be dead lying on the side of the road and get up and cast a series after his intro. So, but yeah, no, I'm a big Oxbox fan, and ZLATANIMAL's also a buddy of mine. Somewhat similar styles. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun set.
Yeah, like you said, somewhat similar, more so in terms of pitching than anything. Both of these guys are really strong pitchers. Ox sitting with a top 3 runs allowed per game on the season right now, and Zlat's given up around 5 or so, a little bit above 5, I think. But still, when you think of Zlat and when you've played Zlat before, you know his numbers being at 5 isn't necessarily true to the type of pitcher he is and the levels that he can reach on the mound. And that's why we have that first point with the potential for low-scoring affair, because Ox can score, but when you're facing a pitcher like Zlat, it's tough. But then on the opposite side, Zlat's got to face a top-end pitcher, and he's been struggling a little bit at the plate himself so far this season.
Yeah, Ox has definitely been the better hitter of the two. Ox is kind of an interesting cat. He's one of the odd SMB players that can intentionally take time off and comes back sometimes better. For me, that seems impossible. For most other people, they think they can get away with it, but they can't. I think we just had Johnny C talking in the gen about exactly that, to be honest. But you know, I think the habaneros are going to have to hit some because I think both are streaky. Ox is very streaky, so he may not hit real well. But I think his pitching is so good that the Hobbs are the ones that really need to make sure they don't just get bolted down.
Right, he can be streaky. Zlat's consistent, but the problem with him this season is he's been consistently not hitting. The pitching has still been consistently good though, and Ox, like you said, with his streakiness, he's got a couple of losses this season against teams that he necessarily shouldn't lose to if he wants to achieve that 1 or 2 seed, which he's in the running for right now. I believe he's playing Spaceman on the other side, and he might get that sweep, and that's going to put him firmly in position to get the number 1 seed with 3 or 4 teams with only 6 losses right now. And so there's a lot on the line for Ox in terms of grabbing that 1 seed with this set. He kind of can't lose any games at all, so he needs to be consistent and play that way throughout the rest of the season. And that's talking about that strong run. Last year he won Most Improved Player after he really had a similar record to this and just shot on to the XBL scene after being decent, but then really improving last season after he took a little bit of a break, and now he's doing the same thing this season. And like Third Point says, if the Hobbs are going to stop this steam train that is the Mississippi Holograms right now, you can only pitch and hold someone down like this so long. If you're the Hobbs, you've got to be able to score some runs. I'm thinking he probably needs what, Mist? I'm thinking maybe 5 to win a game in this series.
I don't think necessarily. Ox can definitely go cold for a game. He's got to force Ox to be cold, though, because I don't expect Zlat to be scoring off a pitcher like Ox more than probably 2 or 3 in most games, unless he just happens to get one of those big innings. But that's been his problem. He hasn't been getting those big innings. He's certainly capable of it. He was a great hitter in AAA. It's there, but he's been on a little bit of a cold streak, and that's concerning. But I don't expect more than 6 to 8 runs the entire series for Zlat. So maybe if he can put them all together in one game, he can win one, or maybe if he spaces them out and pitches his buns off, we'll see.
Yeah, and interesting note is that both of these guys, even though it's been a while since Ox has done it, I believe they're both AAA champions, if I'm not wrong. I believe they're both AAA champions, so they both have some pedigree under their belts. And last season, Zlat missed the playoff cutoff by just 1 spot, and he's looking to get his way into the playoffs after back-to-back XBL seasons now. He's just inside that cut line right now, so even a split here is huge against a top-end team. And then, like I noted, Ox needs really a sweep. He really kind of needs to win out the rest of the way if he wants to get a first-round bye. So a lot on the line, and I'm expecting to see a real pitcher's duel, but who knows? Match of the week always seems to bring out some funny sort of stuff, but all we can hope for is some great games, and I'm sure they will be. And after a great AA set, we're getting that XBL going tonight. About to swing it at you in just a minute. Y'all give me just a bit, and we'll be at home of Ox and his Mississippi Holograms for Game 1. Okay, here we are, everyone. Lafayette Corner, home of Ox, MF Box. Zlat's going to be stepping up to the plate with Capsicum leading off. We talked about how important this game is for playoff seeding, as is every match of the week late in the season like this. We'll see who's on the mound. A lot of mid-starters for Ox in his rotation, and look at that. He's got me and you in his name. He's got about 6 shout-outs in one name right there, 4 of us. But at least we got in there. We made it.
That's right. We're on the map here, Uni.
We're on the map. He didn't make us quite as strong. I wish he would have given us about 90 on the 4 seam and maybe given us like an elite changeup or something. But we'll deal with this. He's got falls behind, about 50 velo, 60 or 65 junk, and a 5-pitch arsenal. Able to get that first strikeout. Misses echoing. Okay. I'll try to fix it. But after getting that first strikeout, here comes the second at-bat. Caroline Reaper, who had a huge statement in that AAA series whenever he won the World Series. I remember calling her name over and over with you in the booth on that one. Here in the XBL, hasn't been quite as strong, but great stats and puts a shot into that one. But over there to center field for the second out.
Yeah, so, it would appear I'm seeing a ton of contact on these habaneros hitters. A lot of contact.
Yeah, maybe after I mean, last season he didn't score as low as he has been this season, but he wasn't a high-tier scorer. I wonder if he changed up his contact, trying to negate that fact a little bit. He does have bad ball hitter as well on this guy. Right. This is a really strong batter. Clutch bad ball hitter, and that power and contact, I would expect this guy in the Hobbs lineup to have something to say in this series. But we know Ox likes to walk bad ball hitters like he did right there. Show some respect to the trade and walks him.
Yes, especially at Lafayette Corner, he's probably scared to death to throw a ball even close to the plate.
Yeah, Ox very willing to walk the bad ball hitter in even situations where you think it might be risky. Very much a subscriber to hate on the bad ball hitter.
Yeah, but I mean, I would wait for Zlat to show you. So it's not Mama June up there with bad ball hitter. You got to make him swing the bat.
And a weak curve right there. He hits it pretty well, but right to the second baseman. So 4 up and 3 down with that 1 walk, no hits. And now Ox is going to step up to the plate, putting up, I believe, a respectable 6, somewhere between 5 and 7 per. I don't have the stats pulled up right this second, but he's been scoring pretty decently. Yeah, 6.8 per game. So we'll see if he's able to get some runs across right here. And his game against Spaceman, I know he just scored like 10 or something like that. This is pre-recorded, but Ox has definitely had some games this season where he's went off.
Yeah, both of these players with similar leadoff. A shout out to AJ there, but extremely low power, contact, and speed. I never ever build a player like that unless it's like a bench glove or something like that. But both of them went with that 20-ish power on the leadoff player.
Yeah, I try to keep it at least at 30. I tried some 10s and 20s last season. It seemed like no matter what happened, it was an out. No matter how well you hit it.
My lowest is 60.
Well, you are known for nukes. I haven't mentioned the starter yet. We got Rojo Poblano on the mound. A really dangerous 5-pitch arsenal for this pitcher. Got the standard 4 pitches, but that screwball, and it's not only a screwball, it's elite. So this is going to be a tough starter to try to get work done against if you're Ox. Schlongberry steps up, watches that screwball.
Ox isn't the biggest fan of swinging against the screwball, that's for sure. That's a pitch he somewhat struggles with. He really likes the fastball, to be honest, but when he's on his game, can wait for that changeup and does hit curveball pretty well.
Yeah, definitely hits curveball well. I can attest to that from my series. I feel like most of his damage he did against me was the curveball. If you're going to throw one to him, you got to locate it really well. If you're Zlat, I'm not familiar enough to know what he is successful with in terms of batting, but so far we're doing a pretty good job not swinging at too much stuff out of the zone. Does swing at a high fastball right there. And swings at one right on the edge. Great pitch from Ox. And we are going to have both POVs. The home team in game 1, and then the home team will be Zlat in game 2, and we'll have his POV. So if you're a pitching enjoyer, you're really going to get to see the reticle and the way these guys go about it on the mound and how top tier their location can be.
Yeah, I think in general, you know, considering his runs per is low, he has Zlat has a good eye. I think his issue is the ego starts to catch up to him when you're getting up in there in the 90 range. You know, and some players are more that way than others. It's just a little tough for him speed-wise.
Forcing gets him swinging late right there. Would have been ball 4. Now we got a full count for Rip Bonga. 6-hole with the RBI hero, so if it ever gets around to it, he's got a chance. But shortstop jumps up. Zlati Junjun, I believe, gets him his own team namesake out with that jumping catch at short.
Yeah, you'll notice Ox throws a lot of control pitches, even on pitches that are not the curveball and not even necessarily the changeup. You'll see a lot of players throw those, but he throws cutters and things using the control pitch, which I mean, doing that exclusively, I don't understand. I would never do that.
Yeah, but it's a certain skill, and I've just learned it this season talking to some of the XBL guys, going between the two to switch up your velocity even more. Power pitching something like a four seam and then going to a contact sort of changeup, it will really get you even more of a velo gap, and that's just top end level stuff if you're able to do both, because it really moves the reticle quite differently based on whether you're doing power pitch or not. I know I tried it myself to switch back and forth, but I just couldn't get it down. I just had to stick to power pitching.
Yeah, I used to be almost all power pitch other than, like I said, on the curveball or changeup, but I've changed that up. I mix it up a little bit more. It's more strategic, though. It's not necessarily to get better location. Although, in my opinion, some people say no, but in my opinion, it is easier to locate using the control pitch.
And that was a weak curveball right there, but Ox misreticled it. Now he sees a great pitch on the low outside zone. That was a screwball, I believe, that elite screwball. No, it was a changeup, but look at that location. Maybe it would have been a ball, but one that's really tough to lay off in a full count like that. Now he puts a hammer into this one left field. Is it going to get to the wall? Sayson's able to put it away. I believe the only hit we have so far in this game is a weak grounder up the middle, so match of the week sometimes start off slow, but this could be something that carries on the way we talked about these two pitching staffs. Ooh, not able to slide and get it out there in center field, so it lands. Now both teams have a hit. Both of them up through center field, and you got a strong batter up to the plate. Here comes Silly Power Ranger. High pitch, a lot of contact, a lot of power. Pitcher was locked in, but lost it off of that hit. Gets him swinging at a ball there. There's that screwball.
Oh, I was going to say Ox might take off, but he didn't get a chance to.
Oh, and that was pretty well struck to center field, but put away. And now here comes Rojo Poblano. Locked in after getting that out, after losing it for one at bat. He gets it right back, so locked in coming up to the plate. And I'm sure D-Money missed Unicorn Snowbird, one of the longest names I've ever read on the stream. Going to be locked in pretty soon if he can get a put out or two here.
Yeah, I need to be careful at a small park, especially against a locked-in pitcher like this.
Yeah, this is the sort of game where you might look at just a long ball or two. Could really be the difference when we get to the end of this. And that one's hit, but he's got that outfield in, which he does quite often. Works really well against some, and it really hurts you against others. We'll see how it pays off for him in this game. I know in my set against Ox, the main reason I won was probably because a couple of big shots against that outfield being in.
Right. Yeah, it can definitely hurt you. I think Zlat is probably one of the better people to play that in like that. You know, like I said earlier, if somebody's only scoring a few per game, you know, you want to see if they hit it over the outfield, good for them.
Yeah, especially with the builds he has. This guy right here's got hardly any power. Bunter sort of build. He hits it over there to second base. But Caroline Reaper's got plenty to get over that outfield, and Ox is well aware. He keeps the outfield at normal depth, throws a curveball to start here. Done a great job of just missing right off of the zone, especially with that curveball so far through 3 innings. This one's pretty much the same location. He lays off of it. That one's on the edge. It's 1-1, and the pitcher is locked in now after that last out. So both pitchers locked in. Really shaping up to be the sort of ball game we expected, and we're not always right, but it feels nice when we are right, when we put a key in there. It's only 3 innings, but for 3 innings, miss, doesn't it feel good to be so smart?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we had this wired for at least the first 3 innings.
Strike up top on that fastball, and just like Zlat's pitcher, he was locked in for 1 at bat, and then gives up a hit and loses it.
Yeah, and you know what, Uni, we're seeing more and more pitchers starting to fall in love with that forkball that kind of was completely out of vogue in the XBL for several seasons, and now, partly with the just the way the roster tool is, a little bit cheaper on pitchers, especially for starters. That having that forkball in the arsenal is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's really similar to that slider. If you use it right, it's dangerous, but a mislocation, it's usually going to go over the fence.
Yeah, if you're not a good locator, I definitely wouldn't recommend any of those middle pitches.
We got Vegan Vibes. Shout out Vegan, taking a break this season, but Vegan known for having maybe the best eye in the entire league when he was in the XBL the last couple of years. He's got his shout out on the left fielder here for the holograms. Hardly any power on this guy, just 10, but a lot of contact and a lot of speed. Grounds it over to first base, and Rip Bonga puts it away. Here comes that pitcher, and he is locked back in. These two teams are pretty much mirroring themselves right now on the stats. Rojo Poblano locked in, the starter at the plate locked in. Only 1 and 2 hits, respectively, for their teams.
Yeah, Ox makes a good point. There was a point in the XBL where forkball was a limited pitch, and as was screwball. I think it was 2 apiece. It might have been 1 per rotation versus pin. I'm not exactly sure. But people weren't really going to use it that much anyway because the pitches were much more limited in the old days. We've seen an expanded arsenal, which we actually just tightened up a little bit for this last season in the pen.
Right, in the pen with those pitch limits that got added. And Ox was able to take a walk after getting 1 out, so he's got a runner on with some decent speed. And now this one's poked left field. It's barely foul, though. That reticle was great, but just a bit late, like it says. Now Whiffer is on. Fastball right on the edge of the zone. Zlat with a great pitch. Rojo Poblano on the mound gets that strikeout. But he's got to deal with Zlati Junjun, the shortstop, with really respectable hitting stats and a great 415, 7 home run sort of stat line. See what type of pitch he's able to get right here. Gives him a fastball inside, 1-1.
Yeah, has that outside pitch, which is a monster trait. That's where people generally like to pitch a tough hitter.
Oh, swings at a curveball way up top right there. A little out of the ordinary for the holograms, but Zlat with his pitching, able to get a whiff right there, way off on the reticle, and after letting 1 on, came back-to-back on strikeouts, and now he comes back up to the plate, looking to muster some runs across.
We're seeing a little bit of stickiness. I don't know if that's on the VOD or if that was what they had going on. It almost looks like that's what they had going on because it seems like we had a couple poor reactions there, Yini.
Yeah, and that's why they did pre-record, because I think that they said they've had some server issues playing each other. Look, hopefully it's not too big of a deal. They probably would have restarted. Knowing Ox for sure, any bit of lag, he's going to restart that thing, so it should be relatively clean. There was a leadoff single hit up the middle of the infield. Look at all that speed on first base, but there's a great catcher behind the plate, a lot of arm. Curveball gets him swinging, popped up. Zlati Junjun rages all the way back, able to grab it behind his butt.
Yeah, I tell you, Uni, I invested in my catcher arm more than I have the last few seasons this season. And it's amazing how many people she's thrown out. I think she had a 95 arm. I usually have it around 80, 88, 86. She was gunning everybody out and has been gunning everybody out all season.
Yeah, having a strong catcher's arm almost a necessity when you get into the leagues in the XBL. I know I put that down in my notes as the first thing to change after playing No Name last season. I was like, add about 10 to my arm. I know I'm going to have to play him again. Let me give about 10 more on this guy. I don't care the cost. And there, he works a walk, so we've got a little bit of danger on the base pass now. We've got 1 out, 2 on with really good speed on second base. A decent hit right here can break the tie and get our first run on our XBL Match of the Week. Fastball inside. He hits it deep center field.
Well.
This one might get all the way over that wall, and it doesn't. It bounces off the wall. He's a little bit stagnant on the base pass, and it's going to turn into an out because of it.
Wow, no way. Oh my goodness, that is painful.
Lafayette, perfectly designed for Ox right there. That wall saves him any other height, and that would have been over. Zlat held his base runners in place, and it cost him right there. Could have had bases loaded, one out. Now he sits with runners on the corners and an 0-2 count. 2 outs. Fastball, he swings. Songberry's able to get there, though, the second baseman, and man, it looked like Zlat was going to be able to score a run or two off of that big shot to center field, but Ox chose his stadium wisely. The wall saved him, and now we still got a 0-0 ball game here in the fourth.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because the only reason that wall's there is to create some kind of a batter's eye. It's not to trap the ball, but he got burned by it.
Oh, swings on that curveball. That's a couple times that high curve has had Ox's reticle a bit off. Swings at that cutter inside now. Oh, a drop from the third baseman. He picks it up after that .3, and he's able to get him out. Could have been a bad deal. Here comes Holographic Charizard, the most famous player in this lineup.
You know what, though, Uni? You can't cry about losing a home run in Lafayette. This is a tiny park. You know, man up. You got to clear that batter's eye.
Yeah, and Ox has a lot of home runs this season because he plays this park.
Oh, is that the only reason?
I mean, he's got some skill. He's got some skill. But we'll talk about Lafayette, too.
Under the bus. I love it.
I mean, shoot, he hit like 3 home runs against me, I'm pretty sure. I got plenty of respect for his bat. But Lafayette does nothing but help people, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. This is the home of black coffee, of course, and he's not short on home runs this season.
Power versus lefties was on. This one's floating foul. Zlat ranges over there. He's able to snag it. Saysen for the third out. So only 1 hit so far from Ox. Zlat really showing that he is the pitcher that we made him out to be. Really locking down the holograms right now. And on the other side, Ox doing an excellent job. Only giving up 3 hits. Did get in danger in that last inning, but hasn't given up a run yet. Still locked in on the mound on both sides. Outfield in, still able to get back to it. Admiral McHenry.
Yeah, this is only about 1.5 feet away from a 3-0 lead for the Hobbs, so they're still in good shape, though. Just hanging here with the top player so far. You hate to lose or come so close and come up with nothing.
Yeah, if you're Zlat sitting on the edge of that playoff cutoff playing against a top 5 team, keeping it competitive for this long is a little bit of a win. And then when you start getting to these later innings, it's where you really start thinking about stealing a game off a top-end player like this. This one's very much there for the taking for Zlat to get it. This first one stolen a little bit off of Ox. A split would be big, but a sweep would obviously be humongous. With all the games left around that playoff cutoff line, there's a lot of movement to be had between about 12 to 16 right now in the XBL. Poblano steps back up after another 0. 4 straight innings now, just zeros on the board. 4.5 innings actually with zeros on the board. Pressure bar's up to 2 now. Getting into these middle to back half innings. Every at-bat being important, and that one's up the middle. Pretty much every hit we've seen, it feels like it's been up the middle. So that's a leadoff runner on, and here comes the left fielder, Vegan Vibes. First pitch prayer, watches it. Hardly has any power, but a lot of contact and speed. Screwball in the zone inside. Man, this starter for Zlat's got a 9 ERA. This guy's been roughed up this season, but so far,
right,
making his money. Oh, right down the middle, and now he's going to run on it. He drops a pitch that was right down the middle. Does he have crossed up?
No, he's got wild thing.
Wild
that
thing.
should have been caught.
Yeah, that was right down the middle fastball. Unfortunate break. It's over to the second baseman on a line out. And even a small break like that in a game like this could be everything. If he's able to just get a base hit and score that run, that catcher drop could really come back to haunt him. He's looking at going to the bullpen. Don't take us out. We're pitching a shutout.
Bruh.
Oh, he took us out. Celeste will be able to talk about us. Goes to the pinch hitter. Who is it? It's Pizza MF Volcano with the name of their own. A lot of contact. Watches that one down low, 1-1. Pinch perfect brings the power up enough to be a threat. 2-2 now.
Late to the dance there. That was a hittable one.
Gets him swinging on the outside pitch there. Still 2-2. Full count. See if he gives him a pitch to hit. Could set up a double play if not. Curveball on the hit and run.
Oh, good swing.
And man, that catcher drop does turn out to haunt him. The runner's able to score now after it, taking second on the passed ball, and now the little weak curveball that was well reticled, but a little bit out of the zone possibly. That's tough. If you're Zlat, you really pitched a perfect pitch right there, but shout out Ox. Able to get that one across. Now a double play opportunity on to second, over to first, but a lot of speed, and he's safe. Hitter did lose some mojo on that one. Has Steeler. And he does steal. The first steal of the game. Steeler trait works out, and the mojo's right back up.
Yeah, he got lucky. That was absolutely perfect pitch to run on.
And now the fastball hit deep. Is this one going to get out? Stops at the warning track, and NA is able to put it away. So the run comes across because of the catcher drop, and so this lead is taken by Ox. In the bottom of the fifth on XBL Match of the Week, it's a 1-0 ball game, a close one.
Wow, it's interesting the way the little park has held in some of these really good shots out there. Those are the two places that it is a little bit long. That deep left center area on the left side, and then the batter's eye. Those are about the only slightly large areas of this entire park.
Yeah, this park's made for hitting down the line, and we haven't seen really anything get hit down the line on either side. Pretty much everything up the middle, and second baseman ranges over, puts it away once again, and the mojo down for that batter. Here comes Scotch Bonnet. Really great speed up and down the lineup, it looks like, in Zlat's roster build this season. The Raider Spaceman reliever came in with the elite four-seam. This pitcher's stats are a little bit deceptive when you add that in. 99 he pumps it in. 5-pitch arsenal, another forkball as well.
Yeah, this pitcher's murder.
Yeah, this is a tough reliever. With those stats, it doesn't really matter too much. When you have that elite four-seam, it feels like it really adds another aspect. It's almost a shock factor that you have to deal with when you see elite four-seam. And not only that, he's got reverse splits. So this is no doubt the ace in Ox's bullpen. And named correctly, he's got Raider in the name. Very much known for those bullpen aces.
He's got Eddie in there, too.
Yeah, Eddie, the OG workhorse, throw your RP for 6 innings type guy. I'm sure he wasn't too happy when we had to ban that. Or not ban it, but probably made it about 200 grand if you want to throw a workhorse on somebody like they were making. That one's hit well.
I was going to say, we didn't ban it. We just resorted to extortion.
It's a nice way to do it. Don't ban it. Just bump it up about 100 grand and see if people really want it. Able to hit that fastball that was really up there on the chin, well located, that elite four-seam, but Zlat was able to get on it quickly and hit another one up center. Now he watches 2 balls come across. Reverse splits is affecting this batter, and so is Mind Gamer, and you can see that. 3-0 count. And the 4-pitch walk, Mind Gamer really pays off right there. Makes it tough to locate just right off the edge, and first pitch prayer combined with reverse splits. I'd imagine he watches this first one. And he does 0-1. Still decent stats, enough to do some damage right here. If you're the Hobbs, this is the second time you've got some people on the base path starting to get late. Got to take advantage of a situation like this. He watches it 2-1. Great location on that pitch, 2-2. This one's going to be in the zone. He swings and misses on the changeup. It wasn't perfectly on the corner, but catches a little bit of a break there against Zlat. Able to get another 0 up on the board. We're heading into the bottom of the 6th now in game 1 between these two. Just 1 run differential right now. The middle of the lineup coming up for the holograms. Pitcher still locked in. Poblano at 73 pitches. No doubt his best outing of the season. His ERA has dropped nearly a whole point from this game.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch that that mojo. As soon as this pitcher comes off locked in, he's gone.
Yeah, no doubt. That one's hit up center, like all of them have been, it seems like, so far. So another leadoff single, just like he had last inning.
And there it is. It just clicked in. I think he's gone.
Yeah. I would expect Zlat to pull him. Zlat keeps the starter in, though. He's going to try to maybe get one more inning out of him. This is a sketchy situation now. He's got no accuracy as well. Misses on a meatball there. Mind Gamer really affecting this starter. Now that locked in's gone. That one's a great pitch on the outside, though. 1 and 2. Mind Gamer and Distractor, I believe. Talk about a roster build. He's got Distractor, try to get him on base, and then double it up with Mind Gamer. Curveball, another steal on the curve. Ox is really putting on a clinic of when to steal. He has been really selective. This one's left field. Another one that might get held in, and Lafayette at the warning track throws it to third. A lot of speed. It's going to be close, but he's safe. So a runner at third, 1 out. Charizard comes up. I wonder if he's going to walk here and set up a double play ball. Looking at his bullpen. Great reticle, great timing from Ox. A little bit unfortunate that one didn't go further.
Not going to go to the pen. He's locked in, but...
Oh, the early dive. Just barely outside of his stretched arm, and it's 2-0 now after a drop ball brought a runner to second, and then a well-timed steal brought a runner to second. Ox is doing what the top end does. Even if we don't bat well, these guys just find ways to win games. He's small balled a couple across here. And two might be enough.
That steal is what did it. That's what allowed him to tag up as well.
Right, that's why catcher's arms, cadence, everything so important, especially in these close games. This one might finally find a gap, but that center fielder's got so much speed. Doesn't land. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. Here comes Silly Power Ranger again. Great pitch, great reticle, but you get that deduction on power when those pitches are in the corner. The starter trying to get one more out. Stats are way, way down. 2-0. And there's the steal. He's able to hold it. We'll see. We got a little bit of a diddle game going on, but he just keeps it and tags him for the 3rd out. Good job by Zlat changing up his cadence a little bit right there and preventing a steal. Especially after it's come back to bite you twice in the same game now. Trying to get his bats to heat up like we talked about on the keys of the game. Zlat's done a good job pitching, but it's hard to win anything in the XBL if you're not going to score at least a couple runs.
Yeah, needs a couple singles to knock a little bit of doubt into these pitchers, and there's Shallow again.
And when you're one of those teams that Zlat's not necessarily new to the league, but has less time in the league than Ox does in the XBL, it's those situations we've seen Zlat in a couple times where he had base runners on, he just wasn't able to convert. Sometimes you only get 1 or 2 opportunities to have a couple people on. And when you don't take advantage of them against players like Ox, it's really tough to get a 3rd or 4th try at it. He's got 3 innings left to do it. He's got 8 outs to play with. Outfield still shallow. Slides and, dare I say, hits him in the gooch. So it's a single up center. The outfield being in didn't give him still enough time to get there.
Yeah, reliever's starting to tire a little bit. That does matter when you have Elite Four seam.
Yeah, once your stamina starts dwindling on a pitcher that relies on some velo, it can really be a problem, but gives him a fastball here. It's going to bounce off the first baseman. Second baseman gets over there, but not in time. So here's Zlat with his 3rd try at it. 3 times this game he's had 2 base runners on with 1 or less outs. Desperately needs something here. Game's getting late.
Oh, did he get a call there? Wow, really ump.
Oh, great eye from Zlat there. That one right off the corner. Gonna go right back to it. Same location pretty much. He lays off again. 2-1. Zlat doing a good job being patient. Can he lay off this? He doesn't lay off the curveball. It's a slow roller. He might be able to get to first, and he does. So runners are at the corners, 2 outs. Needs a hit here to try to get a run across. Bad ball hitter on this player, but tense and working against reverse splits.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of junk from Ox right here.
Yeah, hardly any velo. This reliever's pretty much gassed. 38 pitches, 39th coming at it. It's going to find the zone. He watches it.
Oh, what he stood there.
A lot of time. Oh, great pitch on that one. 2-2. This one might find the zone. He swings late. That Elite Four seam still had about 94 behind it, I believe, and he's able to get him to whiff. So Zlat now 3 times has had some threat on the base pass, but hasn't been able to convert. Ox pulling a little bit of a Ricks on us, working out of jams every time a opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, and it was such a good setup with a couple of little nothing hits that just happened to find their spots. But that last at bat was kind of really needed to do. There was a couple pitches to hit there and just didn't respond.
Both of these teams are pretty used to playing in some tight games, so I don't think either feels uncomfortable in this situation. Still anyone's ball game. We see the reliever come in. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I almost feel like Zlat did that on purpose. Okay, I'm going to try it. Werbin Jagger Jensen. Werbin Jaggerman Jensen.
There you go.
7 ERA, has elite cutter, typical 4-pitch arsenal, and some decent stats to work with. Gets him swinging on that curveball. Good location on the outside of the zone for the first out. Was a little outside. He swung at it anyways. Has falls behind to pair with his elite cutter. I've never watched SpongeBob. Is this a SpongeBob reference? I'm more of a Teen Titans type of guy, and I know Mist is too.
I do both, but I really like the Titans. SpongeBob's fun, but the Titans are better.
Reach. Gets a walk right there, and here comes the pitcher, Eduardo Raider Spaceman, who's pretty gassed. I was about to say, even the way he's been dealing, I'm sure Ox is going to look to pull him right here. Looks like he's got high contact and low power on every pinch hitter he has is built for contact, not looking to get any kill shots off of his bench, but trying to keep the line moving until he can get back up to that front of the order. He brings in House of Barry, Mush Dynasty. House of Barry even gets a shout out.
I think that's a money-saving technique, is to get that contact on the bench. Does have good traits on those hitters, though. That's where he's looking to get something done.
Swings at the cutter up top. Perfect location on that pitch. 2-2. We haven't seen a steal out of Zlat. The catcher's arm behind the plate is tense. And there's that first steal. As soon as I bring it up, and it's not successful. It gets gunned out. A little bit of a late jump. It wasn't really the wrong time to steal, just a bad timing on the jump. And now a pop-up. And Ox, after the steal was not successful, he had a couple of good steals earlier in the game, but gets gunned out there, then pops it up. So another 0 on the board after giving up 1 in back-to-back innings. Zlat was able to shut him out there. Only 6 outs left. Zlat, no runs on the board. Still plenty of a chance in this game. Got his 4-hole up. Another strong reliever comes in. Rise and fall max fireball, sorry. With a lot of velo and gets him swinging outside. If you're Zlat, this might be your best chance to score. This is the heart of his lineup up here in the 8th.
Yeah, he just needs to remember that all he still needs is a bloop and a blast. Let's get a single or two here and see if we can get it going again.
Good fastball on the edge there, 2-1. This velo can be tough. He hasn't seen this sort of velo yet this game. The elite four seam was close. Charizard lets it drop right there at his feet.
Why?
And that might be a little bit of a break that Zlat needs if he's able to put together a few runs, or put together a few hits. I mean, he's got good speed. We'll see if he gets active. He hasn't stole yet. RBI Hero would engage if he can get him on over there to second. This curveball misses in the zone. 0-2. Missed in a pretty safe location. Fastball inside, good eye, 1-2. Mind gamer on this hitter. This one's going to find the zone. Fastball up top. It gets through the gap. And once again, Zlat keeps doing this. He keeps getting a couple of people on with 1 out, but he hasn't been able to convert. He's about out of time. He really, really desperately needs to convert here. I talked about every game really matters for him right now, trying to stay in that playoff cutoff line.
That's what he needs to hit right there.
Has a great batter right here. Good eye on the curve, 1-2. This one finds the zone. He watches it again, 2-2. Big spot here for Habanero. Tough out is on. Change up low. He swings early for the strikeout. Fireball Max on the mound, able to get him out. Now we got 2 outs with a man on first and second. Not good hitting stats on this guy. Doesn't matter, though. He really needs to put one into a gap here and do some damage. Outfield is shallow. Watches 2 come across the plate. 0-2. Swings at that one. It might find its way. He's got a lot of speed coming out of the base pass. And he does beat it, and the bases are loaded. Pitcher's up. I would expect a pinch hitter here. You got to, and he does. And the mojo, I'm sorry, the stamina for the reliever down a little bit, so the velo drops just a smidge. If you're Zlat and you want to win this game, I feel like you got to have it right here. You got to get a hit right here. Something small can tie it. Something big can really change the whole momentum and put you in the lead. Rider bench comes on. Contact is up.
Hitter does get a little bit of a power bump there from power versus lefty.
Outfield is shallow, dangerous in a situation like this with 3 on. If you're able to get one over this outfield, you're liable to score 3 with that speed coming around from first base. Forkball.
Oh.
Zlat watches he pretty much doesn't swing until he gets a strike. Fastball, that outfield shallow. It's right where he needs him to be. Vibes puts it away, and once again, Zlat threatens, and Ox is able to work his way out of it. It's still 2-0 now. Bottom of the 8th here at Lafayette Corner. The home team up 2-0, despite only having 5 hits in this game, and now he's going to see Scoville come onto the mound with Specialist. Screwball is here again. No moving fastball, but he's got those standard 3 pitches mixed in with that screwball.
Yeah, that was a tough break. That ball was hammered by Zlat. Made a few mistakes on pitches he could have hit, but he really hit that ball well and got burned.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing. When you got those low power guys, he hit it so well, even with the shallow outfield, not enough elevation to get it over their head. Great screwball right there on the top of the zone. Trying to hold this thing at a 2-run lead and give himself a chance again. He had enough hits. He's going to be around to the front of his lineup by the end of the 9th inning if he gets back, when he gets back up. Oh, that one was left down the middle, but he missed. This has been the best reliever. Only a 2.5 ERA on this guy. Scoville done a great job this season. That Specialist no doubt helps. Screwball gets him to line out to short for the 2nd out.
Gonna say it's about 70 junk on that low velo screwball. That can be a really tough pitch.
Fastball up top, only at 94, but enough to get by him. Curveball up top, just hits it right over the pitcher's head. So there is a single. Ox trying to add a run if he can. He's got Mr. Clutch Ribby. It's a shout out to Mr. Clutch, taking a break this season. Mr. Clutch was on a real trajectory similar to me. I bet if he was playing this season, he'd be finding himself in the playoffs. A really good player.
Yeah, Mr. Clutch will be back. A rumor has it that he's going to play Cup, so we'll see if that comes to fruition.
I hope the rumors are true. XBL is better with someone like Clutch and his Mythosaurs logo. But in this game, Ox has 1 on. Steeler over there at first. 3-1 count. Mind Gamer causing some issues here for Scoville. Don't want to leave something over the heart of the plate here. Gives him a changeup really well located down there, but it's just a better hit from Ox, getting that fastball low and away. Good piece of hitting right there. Now he's got 2 on with Charizard up, and now you're in some real danger if you're Zlata. This thing getting out of hand. Desperately need this out right here to get yourself back up to the plate and leave it at 2.
Yeah, that's 2 really nice hits on tough pitches for the Hog, and that's the difference between a decent player and a good player. Is the good players can get hits on those balls on the corners. They may not be gorgeous hits, but usually the lesser players, they do almost nothing on really good pitches.
Yeah, definitely a skill just to be able to poke those balls on the corner. 2-2 to Charizard here. 3-2. This one might come to the plate in a full count. This is huge. Curveball, and it gets him to ground out to the shortstop. Zlat needed that. It was hittable for a player like Charizard, but regardless, there's a 3rd putout after a little bit of danger. Here comes the 1-hole. It's the front end of the lineup for Zlat, exactly how you want to start off. Down 2. He's got 3 outs to work with, trying to tie this game up or more if he can here in the top of the 9th on XBL Match of the Week. Starts off with one up the center, has a lot of speed. June, too tough. He's got a 90-plus arm over there at shortstop, and the money pays off, able to throw him out even with that great speed down the line. Fireball still in here pitching, still plenty of velo. That one's popped up over there to Charizard, not able to get the hit, but he's able to get the second put away right here. So 2 outs now for Zlat. Trying to get a run here and bring that tying run up to the plate if he can. Pressure bar's at 4. Watches the first one. That one barely inside, 2-0. Goes to that same spot. This one finds his own curveball cheese. This one misses inside. Zlat not able to hang on, but it's foul ball. Low changeup coming at him. Swings and misses, and Ox gets the strikeout. The home team, Mississippi Holograms at Lafayette corner, able to small ball a couple across despite getting out hit. Ox, an excellent job of working his way out of jams and just small balling those 2 across to get a 2-0 win here. Another close one on Match of the Week, missed.
Yeah, that's a tough break for ZLATANIMAL. You know, you could be completely dominated and score 0. He wasn't completely dominated. We saw quite a few good swings. We saw the ball off the top of the batter's eye. We saw that ball lined into left field with at least a couple runners on there. So that's just I thought they played fairly even there.
Yeah, I think that was really to a T pretty much what we expected. We didn't expect it to be, despite what the standings say, a big difference in terms of gameplay, and it was low scoring like we expected. So for once, we're right, Mist, and on the keys, it was a low-scoring, tight affair, and I would expect a similar type of ball game out of Game 2. So a great Game 1. Ox Ox gets the win that he needs, trying to keep himself alive for that 1 seed, and Zlat coming back with a split. Looking to get a split would be huge for his playoff hopes. Y'all give us a minute. We'll switch everything over, and we'll jump into Game 2. See y'all in a minute. All right, welcome back, everyone, for our second half of the XBL Match of the Week here on a earlier set on a Saturday. Ox able to get the home team win, 2-0 on that first one. Zlat coming into Parque de Jardineros, I'm sorry, which is really a familiar theme in the XBL. It's so many people playing Parque this season. We'll see how it's able to help him. Definitely favored to a pitching sort of matchup more than Lafayette is. Only 2-0 at Lafayette. We might see 1-0 here at Parque.
Yeah, the one thing, though, Uni, is if you're going to play shallow here and the ball goes over your head, that's going to be a triple.
Yeah, and both of these players are known for quick adjustments as well. So the second half of a set, really looking to see how they key into what worked last game. We're seeing the POV from Zlat this time. Carl Wieser on the mound. Low velo, decent junk. Has the fork ball in his 5-pitch arsenal. And gets him swinging out a fork there. Is it just me, or does that UI look way smaller? Is that something you can change? Maybe Zlat has that setting?
Yes, there is 2 different settings, Uni. If you haven't done that, that's definitely the thing to do. You always want it on that smaller.
Is that going to get me #1 seed in the XBL next season?
Based on your trajectory, it may well.
Thanks, but no, I'll never be that special. But I'll try it. I'll switch it up. And there's the first out right there. Zlat able to get a good pitch on the outside. Gets him swinging. Zlati Junjun, the shortstop, steps up to the plate. Another swing and a miss on that cutter. Ooh, a little bit of an off pitch. Lines it straight to the third baseman, though, on that changeup. It ended up in a decent location. We saw Ox really locate well. We saw it from his perspective, how he really was hitting the corners. Zlat looks no different here, but that one's hit deep, center field. That one's a no-doubter. It's going to be gone. Hang on, NA almost had it, but it finds its way into the grass out there in center field. Park a little bit shorter in that center field. It pays off, only 404. But Schlongberry opens it up with a home run in the first. So it took a while to see the first run in game 1, but a home run here in the first inning of game 2. Ox takes a quick 1-0 lead. Zlat wasn't able to score in the first one, trying to get some runs up on the board here in game 2. Zlat does have his run scoring up to 3.3 on the season. Last roundup he was, I believe, under 2, so he's been hitting better. That first game doesn't show it the way Ox pitched, but Zlat's definitely capable of putting up 3 or 4 runs. Gonna need to here. Try to get a split against a top-end player. On the mound is BK Weaves Beeves. Everyone loves Weaver, and you hear him in that intro trailer on a lot of great calls. Gets his shout out here as the starter for the holograms. That one's hit well by Zlat. A tough pitch up there on the chin. Fly out to center field, though. Not enough distance, not enough power on that build. I like these unis for Zlat. He's got like some white with some gold pinstripes. Finally, we see a white versus black uniform. Hang on, deep right field, 90 power. Is it going to get over the wall? And it does. Charizard can't get to it. And just like that, we're tied back up. A couple of loud shots off the bat here in the first.
Yeah, it's interesting. We didn't get, I don't think we got any in the small park, and now it's on the sudden they're flying out here at the big park.
Yeah, wind's blowing outward here in game 2. It looks like an evening game here in Park Day Jardineros. Like you said, a deeper park, but 2 home runs already. Looks like these two are a little bit more comfortable at the plate this game to start off. Pretty similar starting builds on the mound as well. That one's hit decently, but Junjun's able to put it over to first base for the out, so pretty much similar. 2 outs and then a home run and then the third out for both guys. So 1 hit, 1 run each.
Yeah, it looks like Zlat's doing a mix of power and contact hitting. It's kind of interesting because he was power hitting with that player that hit it out. But he was contact hitting with that player who actually had pretty good power and was batting with 2 outs. So I don't know what the thinking is. That seems like an odd strategy to me, but I'm not someone who alternates between the two, so...
Yeah, I feel like I'm similar to Ox, and there's a few of us that do it, like you said, that just switch between contact and power. And sometimes it's a situational thing. Other times you just feel off at the plate and you contact swing just so you can see yourself get something to hit the dirt. That was a good pitch on the outside, but didn't find its way into the zone. Changeup misses low and away, 2-1. Forkball right there on the corner. Great pitch from Zlat. 2-2. Misses, full count. Good job from Ox here working this thing to 3-2. We see a curveball come in. It's going to be slightly inside. Can he hold off? He doesn't, but it goes foul right field. And that one misses low. He gets the walk. Good job by Ox. Silly Power Ranger, the catcher, 7-hole. Able to work his way into that walk after being down in the count. Good piece of plate patience. But this one's grounded to second baseman. He goes... Okay, I thought there was less than 2 outs. Good decision going to first there. A 0 on the board in the second. Now Zlat comes up to the plate looking to try to repeat his success in the first inning. Already has more runs in this game than he did in game 1. And that one's hit down the line, left field. This is going to turn into a double. Really good piece of hitting on that cutter right there on the hands. And great speed on that player as well. So we've got speed to lead off on a double. And Rip Bonga comes up, RBI hero. I would doubt you see really anything to hit in this at-bat.
Yeah, you're going to have to be really careful. I don't think Ox will throw him a strike.
Mind gamer as well. Zlat hoping for a mistake pitch. Swings at that one. It was up top above the zone. Enough speed to round the bases. And we've got 2 runs already for Zlat. He's showing up to this game. His bats are starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, that was a good swing by Zlat. He did expand the zone, but with that type of a hitter, if you could get on a ball, go for it.
And that one to the shortstop. Line drive going to turn into a double play. So after scoring a run, gets 2 outs on the double play, comes up, watches the first pitch. KNA, that outfielder, only a 204 average on the season. Really been struggling at the plate thus far. Pops one out right there. But he scores another run, so 1's on the board in 3 of our 4 frames. And here comes Ox up to the plate with Weaves, the pitcher on the mound. Both pitchers have still done a good job. These guys are doing stuff just like that. A great pitch on the corner, but he's able to muster it over there to right field. Pitcher hit. Cutter inside, he can't hold off. Curveball he can't hold off of right there on the corner, and he's able to get a weak pop up to second base. The shortstop comes up. Really good stats on this hitter. A weak curve, and he takes advantage of it. It's over there to that deep parquet corner. They call it the triple corner, and it might turn into a triple. It's just going to be a double, but it's going to score a run, and just like that, the game's tied back up after a low-scoring affair in Game 1. It's already 2-2 here in the 3rd inning of Game 2. Steeler, I'm interested to see how aggressive he gets here against this low velo. You might be able to take third base. Swings at that forkball 1-1.
Yeah, and Katina's the one that hit that home run to center, so.
Swings at a changeup out of the zone right there. Caroline Reaper puts it away. She's put away both outs in this inning.
Yeah, that was a straight chase there. She got a little bit antsy. There was nothing to swing at there.
That one's hit well, and it's into a gap. Nice. Good piece of hitting from Ox right there on the chin. He's able to still get it, but hang on, it's close, and now we're in a little bit of a diddle situation. Run already came across. He's trying desperately to stay alive, and he might get it, but then he stutters. Oh, no, he actually kind of had him.
I can't believe Zlat threw that second one from second to first there.
He outdiddled himself. Ox did on the base pass, so it is the 3rd out, but he's able to take the lead, putting up 2 there in the top of the 3rd, and now Zlat's got to score some of his own now. Had the lead for just a second. Oh, and hits the pitcher right in the cojones. He's got enough speed to get to first. Pitcher's going to be tense now, but I believe not injured. Usually those cups protect
that
you.
Hit that ball.
Yeah, pitcher on pitcher damage, and he's rattled on the mound now.
Yeah, and that pitcher hasn't missed a lot of meals. That ball had a little bit of juice on it.
Yeah, no doubt. We've seen 2 pitcher hits already in this game. Looking to bunt here, hits it pretty well down the right side. A little bit of a sack bunt, moves the runner up to second base, and Caroline Reaper comes up. It's always interesting to me how the pitchers are able to stay in after getting hit in the private parts like that. The cups on these players are really just shows 21st century technology. Doesn't even hurt, just scares them. That one's hit weakly over there to first base. He's running for it, though, and it's a missed decision, and now he's going to second. He's sending him home. Hang on. He scores because of it. What is going on? The base pass has been an interesting story, and now they play their part, and it's 3-3 because of the – I don't even know what to call it. That was just a misplay at first base.
No, I'll tell you from experience, Ox likes to run it out. He doesn't want to make that throw, but he just he pushed it to the limit there and passed the limit, and we hurt him.
And Zlat, he thought he was going to be out, so he just rounded it, and the round turns into enough distraction to work that low-speed runner from third to home. Really a good play by Zlat to take advantage of the misplay and turn that into a run. I'm the same way. I'm like Zlat. If I think I'm getting out, I just put that runner going first all the way home and let him round. So when something like that does happen, usually it doesn't work out, but it helps him there. Curveball up top, swung on well, deep left field. Sason's back, and he puts it up and away.
Wow, this is an interesting 3-3 unicorn. Lots happened here.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of home runs. We've seen some base path mishaps. And now we see a great changeup on the outside there, 0-2. Trying to get a chase on the fork here. And he is going to induce the chase, and now he's going to put it out to first base. Clean inning. 3-3 now going into the bottom of the fourth. 4 hits and 5 hits, just like game one. Really close, tight-knit affair, and really similar gameplay from both of these guys. It's really incredible the way Zlat is. He's really able to mirror his competition in a lot of games against tough teams. He's able to just stay in there and keep it close. Doing no different right here.
And it's like you said, Uni. His ERA might be 5 point whatever, but I bet you against some of the lesser players that he can handle, he's probably way down. He has the ability to bring the other players down to his level offensively,
right?
Which is the only way he could possibly have the record that he has.
Yeah, the record he has with the runs that he's put up is very Raider-esque. He's got the number 8 strength of schedule as well, so I would expect his runs allowed to come down for sure as he plays some of the lower-end opponents.
You know who it reminds me of is Diesel. Diesel has that ability to drag you down to his level, and then he beats you.
Yeah, it's really an art that only few players have in this league, and Zlat's one of them. Ox is able to get the ground out right there, so for the first time in this game, we see put away frame 0-0 on the board there in the fourth for both teams. Starter still on the mound here for Zlat, doing a good job. Pops up that pitch to lead off. Pitcher still rattled after getting hit. Hasn't worked his way out of it yet. A hit at the plate would help a lot. He's already got 1 hit over the first baseman's head. Now he's looking to sub. Maybe he didn't realize the pitcher was up, and he does sub. Websley B. Hagan. A couple of OG shout-outs there.
Yeah, I wish we could get Webb back into the league. I don't know why he ever left. He should be here.
He's really an artist, the way he works those logos and just creates even better versions of them. I believe that was Webb, right? That just made the ridiculous logos for everybody.
Right. The organic logos.
All natural from Webb. Fastball hitter doesn't help right there on a great location from Zlat up and in on the edge of the strike zone. Gets him to ground out to second. So 2 up, 2 down so far. This one's a little bit of a weak pitch. Ox looks a little bit off, though. I'd be interested to see where his reticle was on that one. Just misplaced it. That might be one of the weaker pitches he's going to see in this ball game. Now in game 2 of our XBL match of the week, Coffee Golf Post Your Pie. All right, he comes onto the mound, the reliever.
I know what Post Your Pie is, but I don't know what golf is. Post Your Pie is a channel on Oxbox's channels for posting your pizzas, but golf, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the golf. They play a golf game on their phone and post their scores like every day.
Oh, okay.
I did it for like once and then realized that I suck compared to the rest of everybody, and I stopped. Leadoff single there over the shortstop's head, so Zlat's got a chance to strike here. 8-hole hitter is up. Watches the fork ball over there, 1-1.
How did Coffee get lumped in with golf and Post Your Pie? I think I'm Coffee. I'm a little bit upset here. You know, we got mixed in there with Snowbird, D Money. We're kind of
cooking.
We're pretty much just bumping down the avenue, and now Coffee's just kind of wondering what happened to him.
I think Coffee was the spearhead for the golf game, if I remember right. A A true goat at video game golf. Not only a goat at SMB, but a video game golf as well.
You know, golf does make a good video game. Yeah, there's a lot of good golf games.
2 put away on that shallow hit to right field, and now the one-hole hitter comes up. Still just that runner stuck on first after being there with no outs. Postier Pie's done a good job here with that 3-pitch arsenal. No changeup, but does have a curve and a fork, and it's an elite fork. Hawks hoping to get some decent length out of his SPRP here. Subbed him out pretty early on that starter. Hit well, right field, outfield shallow. It's going to hurt him, but I don't know if there's enough speed. Charizard's got a great arm out there in right field. Is he going to test it? He thought about it, and he turns back.
Ooh, nice throw from right there. Really turned him back.
Yeah, a lot of right fielders you might be able to get by on that, but a few guys in this league have really good arms on their right field, and that's the difference right there on this thing being tied or it being 4-3. Just one of those notes that you see roster building really has such a big impact on your season.
Got a bit of a snowbird arsenal on this
right.
This relief pitcher here.
Yeah, an interesting one, no doubt. Forkball finds his own, not the best pitch, but he watches it. 2-2, big at bat. Swings at the fastball. Is there enough speed to do some damage? Oh, just by a step or two, he's out. Almost turned into a bunt hit.
Yeah, if that would have hit a sprinkler head or something out there, which we do see from time to time in Super Mega Baseball, that could have been a hit.
Weezer still on the mound as a starter for Zlat. Giving up 3 runs, but really a good outing from the starter.
Yeah, that right fielder saved the game so far. That's a monster throw just to put the doubt into the the scorer there to run back.
Yeah, in a game like this, it feels like 1 run from this point on might be all you need. The pitching's kind of keyed in here now in the middle innings. Swings at that cutaway inside. No matter what league you are, who you are, that cutter coming in on the chin is really tough to lay off. And now that one's hit well, right field. Sickham's over there. Look at that right fielder. Both teams have a juiced up arm and great speed on the right fielder. It's tough to get anything down, even in this big parquet outfield with a lot of space. That one's up the middle, though. So a 2-out base knock for a single.
It's amazing how much ZLATANIMAL has kept Ox from really hitting a lot of really hard hit balls. You get that sound when the ball's really squared up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Doesn't hit a lot of those. Ox is a very, very good hitter at times, and ZLATANIMAL's kept him. Seems to be always on the wrong foot when he's swinging that bat.
Yeah, if anyone's going to hit something hard here, it's got to be Charizard. Look at the stats on this hitter at the plate. Works himself into a 3-0 count. Wonder if he's going to give him a pitch to hit. The curveball red reticled. And that might be in your favor if you're Zlat there to miss out of the zone. 4-pitch walk against the best batter in this lineup. And now 2 on, 2 outs. Not a great average, but there is 8 home runs for this hitter on the season. One boy Elron Casino even slipped in the casino late before we he had to change that name or something in the middle of the season. We didn't have the casino when the season started, right?
I don't believe we did, no.
But he pops out over there left field, so 2 on. It was a little bit dangerous, a little bit choppy there for Zlat, but a good job working his way out of a jam, similar to how Ox did in the first game. He's still looking at this SPRP. Bad ball hitter on Dingleberry here. Forkball up top. He hits it well, but not far enough. One of the better hits we've seen in this game so far, just slightly off on that reticle. Deep left field was put away.
Yeah, if he just squared that up, I think that would have cleared. That was a great swing.
Curveball inside on the hands, gets him to roll over it, and this time Ribby is going to be able to put it away without any trouble over there at first base. 2 quick outs here in the inning, bottom of the 6th here in our Game 2 of the XBL Match of the Week. Y'all make sure you tune in tomorrow. We've got AAA Match of the Week, Fireball versus Corn, another one that's got some big playoff seeding on the line.
Yeah, Fireball Max is now in a fight with Elron Coin, looking to potentially move up. I don't believe he can slip down, but and then Rick's actually has the potential to take my spot at 9. It'd be he has to win out to do that, but it's possible. So there's a little bit in play there at the 8-9 and the 10. I'm sorry, the 10-7.
Yeah, and that's what you see all the time from AAA is that parity. And the XBL has really been similar this season. It might be the most, I don't even know the best way to word it. It might be the most parity we've seen in one single season from the XBL. It doesn't seem like there's any clear-cut favorite. And even these teams like ZLAT, down there at the bottom, we've seen runs like mush last year. If you can find your way into the dance, you can make something happen, especially if you're a top-tier pitcher like ZLAT is right here, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Things tied 3-3, 7th inning. He really needs a split to try to – his playoff hopes aren't gone, but with how tight it is down there at the playoff cut, even a split here is huge against a player like Ox. Gets him swinging at that curveball out of the zone.
Yeah, Weezer is still in there. This is the starter. He's been incredible.
Yeah, and now he's going to have the second out here in the 7th, trying to get through 7 innings of only giving up 3 runs. Definitely a complimentary type of performance.
Plus, he took out the other pitcher.
Yeah, he did. Pitched well and hurt the other pitcher. What more could you ask? Maybe throw in a home run, and then maybe that'll be the hat trick for his pitcher. Looking to sub out Post Your Pie here. It was a good night from Coffee. Came in and got a couple of clean innings. Now we see Volcano. Came in last game with all that contact. He's looking at his bullpen now. ZLAT decides to stay with that starter, though. Trying to get through 7 innings. Fastball misses low and away. Cutter up high. Good eye from Ox. Swings at that one. It's going to find its way into the gap as the center fielder get to it. Great angle from ZLAT to keep that thing to a single. Could have been a double or triple if the angle wasn't played right. So the pinch hitter comes in and does their job, able to get a single and bring up the first hitter in this lineup.
I would bring some velo here to mix it up because Ox has seen this slower pitcher the entire game. I wouldn't let him get his mitts onto something here.
Yeah, with all that speed on first, a gapper could score a run here. Still locating well, though. Great pitch up there on the edge. 1-2. Needs one more pitch, one more out of the starter here, I'm sure is the goal for ZLAT. We'll see if he's able to get it. Deciding where he wants to throw it. Chooses up high. It's right field. Sikkim able to get there. The outfield was shallow for ZLAT right there, taking a page out of Ox's book. And he puts it away. Another 0 on the board. I think that's 2 or 3 innings in a row now of just zeros on the board for these two. And we're into the bottom of the 7th. Here comes Spaceman again with that reverse splits and elite 4-seam. Mind game Rom Rip Bonga. See if he can get a mistake pitch here, even with this reverse specialist. Has enough power to get one out. We've seen a home run from both teams in this game. Watches that one, 2-1. Oh, great pitch. 2-2. Gets on the changeup, but it bounces off of the pitcher. Not much speed. It's going to be close. He's not able to get there because of the speed. He's still out by a couple of steps. Most players are going to beat that one out. He's got a really similar lineup to me, built off speed and contact with just a few slow power hitters. Another good fastball low right there, 1-2. Tough out, engages. Ooh, decent reticle, but change up low and out of the zone, I believe. Gets the pop-up, almost drops it at the feet of McHenry out there. Center fielder is tense as well, I noticed. Speed isn't really that great, so in a park like this, with all that room out there, if you can hit it into those triple corners, could be a problem for that center fielder. Good curveball.
A bunter. I don't think we've seen either player bunt this entire series, have we?
We saw one bunt, but I believe it was from the pitcher, from ZLAT. Okay. Yeah, he does have the bunter build on that player, really low power. But a lot of speed and bunter, and he doesn't choose to bunt, and he grounds it out to first. So here we go. 8th inning, another tight ball game. This one's still tied up here with, like I said, Ox trying to get that #1 seed in the XBL and improve on the fact that he was even as the most improved player last season, I believe he finished 5 or 6 seed. I'm sure the whole league would be impressed if he's able to sneak up into that bye territory, get the 1 or 2 seed. He's trying to keep that chance alive.
Interesting. Both of Zlat's standard RPs are lefties. So he's coming with a lefty here against the righty.
Yeah, lefty versus righty. Falls behind, but he locates this fastball pretty well. Smitty had a good outing in that last one. Trying to have a repeat performance. Cutter inside, 2-1. Good eye from Ox. This one's going to find the zone right there on the corner. Great curveball on the edge. Low and away fastball. Where's it going to end up? It ends up in the zone. It's too much. 97 miles per hour. Ox swings behind it. We haven't seen many strikeouts, but a K right there for the first at bat.
Just going to say, this is not an extreme velo guy, but this is a lot more velo than Ox has been seeing. And we just saw that fastball got by him, and he's a good fastball hitter.
Yeah, you don't have to have a ton of velo. If you're going from 20 or 30 velo on your starter, even bringing it up someone like this that's, what, 60 or 70?
75, whatever.
Yeah, 70's plenty. You're bumping up the velo probably somewhere between 7, 8, 9 miles per hour. Walks him right there. Good eye from Ox. And now Mr. Clutch walks up with Mind Gamer and Clutch Engage. This is a big spot, a big at-bat. See what kind of pitches he gives them. Distractor and Mind Gamer. We saw this last game. Got the double dip. Accuracy's hardly there at all. He actually falls behind Mind Gamer and Distractor on that first pitch.
One thing you can't do is mislocate a curveball here. You can't bail him out coming up to this velo, which we haven't seen him hit yet.
Yeah, right there was a decent pitch to hit. That fastball found its way into the zone, but he was late on it on 98. Cutter might be iffy, but it goes to the second really base. Yeah, that ended up on the edge of the zone, but that could have ended up right in the middle. Yeah, he's got 0 accuracy on the first pitch here because falls behind combo with that distractor. Really tough to locate anything, and we see the red reticle because of it. Charizard at the plate. 2 red reticles back to back. You see the nerves facing a batter like this. Changeup. Finds its way onto the edge. Great pitch. Good location. Swings at that cutter. 2-2 count. Big spot if he's able to get this batter out. And a great pitch on the edge from out to in. Clips the zone, and Charizard walks away pissed off.
Yeah, a little bit lucky, but he earned it because he had 2 absolutely painted pitches right before that, and then got a little bit of favor there from the SMB gods to top it off.
Spaceman's still on the mound. We see a pinch hitter come in here for Zlat. Watches that first curveball. Bottom of the 8th here. Tie game. Hawks took that first one trying to get a sweep, and Zlat trying to get a split here at his home stadium. Watches that one. 1-2. Pinch perfect is on. Swings at the changeup. Not much speed, but a little bit of, yeah, I was going to say a chance because of the pitcher running. Ox does choose to throw it at the running pitcher there, and he's able to put it away. Capsicum comes up. Man, these hitters with low power really do have extremely low power on this lineup. Tough against someone like Ox that plays with, oh my gosh, perfect bunt down the line. Finally, we see bunter come into play. I was going to say it's been so tough for Zlat to get hits against the shallow outfield with these sort of builds. So he resorts to a bunt, and he plays it perfectly.
Yeah, and the good hitters are up starting right now.
Yep, this is a good shot if you're Zlat to score. You've got Caroline Reaper. Watches 2 strikes, though. Reverse splits doesn't affect this batter either. Swings, and because of the stats on that hitter, it's able to turn into a hit. So we got 2 on, 1 out.
Yeah, you know, Unicorn, in theory, it was a good pitch into the corner. That ball could not be on the plate.
Yeah, I agree. And now we got bad ball hitter and Clutch. We'll see if Ox actually pitches to it. I know he hates pitching to these bad ball hitters. Look at all that speed. You don't need a home run here, but a decent hit. Zlat swings at the first pitch strike. Pretty rare from him. Looking to be aggressive here in this at-bat. Curveball low, 1-1. Big spot here for Dingleberry. Does it get over the shortstop? It doesn't. Junjun with all that fielding able to get up there vertically and put it away. Big out for the holograms right there. Oh, that one was meaty. Watches it, 0-1. That one meaty too. Zlat watches back-to-back hittable pitches. Now he finds himself in an 0-2 count here. Pressure bar's at 4. Ox switches to shallow. If he keeps him shallow, this could be really dangerous. Swings the shallow outfield. Still isn't going to be able to get there. He turns him home. Hang on, play at the plate, and he's out. Too aggressive on the base pass. Zlat almost took the lead, but Ox, with that shallow outfield, able to scoop it up and send it home.
Yeah, he was begging for a throwing or a catching error there, and we do see those. It wasn't the worst idea, but it was pretty clear he was going to be gunned. It was just praying for a bobble.
Yeah, desperately hoping for one of those catcher drops at the plate, but he doesn't get it. Would have had the bases loaded, but instead the game is tied now going into the 9th inning. Couldn't ask for anything more on a match of the week. Seen so many great games so far this season, and the last one for the regular season in the XBL is this game right here, and it's coming down to the final inning. 2-2 count to one boy. Swings, pops it up. Great location on that fastball down there at the shin, or at the knee. So he puts it away for the first out. A lot of power on this hitter with just one shot over that fence. And you take the lead here. Every at-bat huge here at the end of this game. So tense and nerve-wracking playing in the XBL when it's 9th inning and the thing is tied. The way people are able to hit home runs, especially someone like Ox. Swings and puts that one back up the middle. Change up perfectly located, but like you were lamenting earlier, these good players are able to get on pitches like that on the corner, and Ox does it right there.
Yep, that's a big single.
So he's got one on, not much speed. Vibes up to the plate. Watches the first one. Good contact. Pretty much, yeah, 0 power. Jeffrey Bezos with that reverse splits. Able to get the strikeout for the second out. That's a big one there, and here comes the pitcher. We'll see if Ox looks to sub in this situation. He is looking at his relief hitters, but like we talked about in game 1, he doesn't have any power on anyone coming in if he does sub here. He's just looking to get a hit and move it up to his first hitter.
Not to be a broken record, I could see Ox running here. He needs to get to second base.
Watches the changeup inside. Yeah, not a lot of speed. Catcher's got a crazy arm. Needs to time it perfectly. He's had some perfectly timed steals so far. Yeah, hit and run could be huge too. Move that runner to third. Changeup outside, but he walks him on 4 pitches. And now Ox really has a chance. He's got McHenry coming up who doesn't have great stats. If he's able to get past this hitter, though, he's got really strong batters in his 2 spot, 3 spot, and 4 spot. Could really be dangerous. He swings at the first pitch there, and big if you're Zlat. Great changeup on the edge, able to get the ground out. And now we're going into the bottom of the 9th. Home team, Zlat trying to get the split. And Ox brings in Fireball, brings in the velo.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're Zlat, you have to score here because the real hitters are coming up. We just saw 3 or 4 hitters with basically no power, and Ox still almost scored a run there, at least got something going. Zlat has got to win it right here.
Yeah, definitely feels that way, and he's got his strong part of the order, and he's able to get that single up the middle. I'm surprised he threw a ball on the plate there, but he pitches aggressively, and a good job getting that fastball for the Hobbs, and here comes Rip Bonga. Good speed on first, desperately trying to get something into a gap or over the wall here.
Yeah, these 0-2 pitches on the plate for Ox, I don't like at all. You know me, I'll throw 3 balls straight at the moon against most hitters.
Watches a meaty fastball right there. Changeup was also in the zone, but he swung early. 2-2 count here. One of the best batters in this lineup looking to do some damage. Outfield comes to shallow again. He watches it, good eye, full count. Outfield back to normal. Swings and misses on the heat inside. Would have been ball 4.
Wow.
It's tough to lay off a pitch like that when you have that sort of hitter up in this situation. You want to do nothing more than make them earn their money.
Yeah, and believe me, Ox is aware when you come cutting across the plate, across the eye line of the batter, it's hard to lay off of that under pressure.
Yeah. And this one's grounded to second. Has a chance for 2, and it is going to be 2. Puts it away, and we're going to see Some extra baseball here. A really tight ball game, and Ox having, like you said, missed his best batters are going to be up here in this inning. A dangerous spot now if you're Zlat, able to get the first pitch swinging on that changeup.
Bails him out. Wow. That's a huge out for the Hobbs.
But Schlongberry walks up here, that second baseman who had the home run in the first inning of this game. Another home run here would obviously be huge and take the lead. Changeup misses low. 1-2. Bezos has hardly any stats to speak for. Closer has hardly any stamina. 22 pitches, now 23rd. Curveball gets him swinging foul.
Suckered him in. That was ball 4.
Changeup, not the best location, but he's able to get the ground out there, so he's gotten through a couple of tough hitters, and now Mr. Clutch Ribby comes up. He's got at least one more to get through. I believe he's got Power Ranger up in the 7-hole. All the way down to his 7-hole, I believe, is pretty strong, so not only does Zlat need to get through tough hitters here, he will, if he stays alive, have to get through tough hitters in the 11th as well. There's a single there from Clutch Ribby. And here's holographic Charizard in that 5 spot. Clutch is on. Reverse splits is on. Keeping that closer in with no stamina, no stats hardly. Dicey here.
Yeah, you cannot lose a pitch to Charizard here.
Ox taking a second. Taking the moment. Pressure bars are at 4. That's why you're seeing Clutch negate the reverse splits so well, because of those pressure bars. Ooh, just barely off the edge. 3-1. We'll see if he gives him a pitch to hit. Misses low. Swings anyways, and Charizard's able to get it up over the second baseman's head. He's going to round towards third. NA throws it with a good arm, but he's safe. And one boy Elron Casino up. Is he going to keep this closer in still in this situation? He's really banking on that reverse splits, it looks like. He's got 2 more hitters that have great stats. He's looking at his bullpen now. Jeez, his whole team's over 40 years old. He's lucky this isn't a franchise mode.
Yeah, the biggest problem with leaving this pitcher is the accuracy. You need to get something in there with some accuracy.
And there he goes. Scoville comes in. The strongest reliever stats-wise in terms of build and ERA for this team this season. Desperately needs something right here. 2 on, 2 outs. A good batter at the plate, and a screwball finds its way inside. 1-1. Fastball off the edge. 2-1. Being really picky with his placement right now. And that one's up the middle.
Oh, boy.
In there right at his knees, and it turns into a weak grounder up the middle and breaks the lead here in the 10th inning. Ox up 4-3 now. Scoville came in and made a great pitch, but a good job from Ox there pushing that one up past the pitcher. And now another one up the middle, and the shortstop's unable to get it. We're going to see a play at the plate. 89 on the throw. Enough speed. Gets him safe, and the base runners move up. 2 runs come across for Ox in the holograms here. Those tough batters missed. You talked about it. He had to get through those tough batters, and he's got 5 or 6 of them from 2 all the way to 7 in his lineup, and they made their money right there. They pushed 2 across here in extras. And Vibes softly hits it over there to right field, so Habanero's now, and they have a chance to be swept by Ox here. They need at least 2 runs to stay alive. Has his 8-hole hitter up first. Not the part of the lineup you want to be at, but has to get some base runners on. Watches that curveball. Max still with plenty of velo on the mound. Forkball now, 0-2. Swings at the changeup in there. That shows the nerves of the 9th inning being down, or 10th inning, I'm sorry. Hard to lay off. And Scoville, who just came in, has to come out even with all that stamina because of the situation. Power lefties, rally starter, a really strong hitter right here. Outfield is shallow, though. Man, he's using that forkball really well right now. Swings, it's down the line. It gets over the bag, not hardly any speed, and it's going to turn into the second out. A decent hit down the line there, but no speed. And now Sickham's up, who has a bunt in this game for a hit, but no hits. We got 2 outs. It could come down to this. Ox looking to get a sweep. It's a pop-up. It looks like Ox will get that sweep. It's over there in no man's land, but the center fielder able to get it. And we do see a sweep here on Match of the Week. Zlat pitched exceptionally well and kept that thing tight, but Ox improves to 24-6 on the season now and makes his chances all the more there for the taking for that 1 seed.
Yeah, a good, entertaining set from both players. We had got extra innings. We had some bombs there, and really, tight play. They both pitched extremely well. There was not a lot to swing at there.
Yeah, good pitching like we expected. They both showed that they are top end level pitchers, and Zlat showed in game 2 that he can hit. He was able to score against that tough level pitching, and Ox kind of did what he does. He doesn't really get shut out much. He's able to muster some runs here or there, small ball some stuff. We saw a couple of solo shots. We saw some interesting base running sort of stuff. So that second game for sure had a little bit of everything. But like you said, more than anything overall, it was the pitching that really showed out. And Ox is able to get that sweep. And Zlat now making it tougher on himself as he falls down in the standings a little bit right there on the edge of that playoff cutoff. What do you think, Mist? Is he going to be able to survive? And is Ox going to be able to snag a 1 seed? It was a big series the way it really took 1 up and 1 down in the standings.
Yeah, I do think Zlat is going to make the playoffs. This does hurt him pretty significantly, though. I'll have to take a closer look at it. I think he's going to make it. As far as Ox, I think the 1 seed is awfully tough. I don't know exactly his situation. Spaceman's up there. Mama's got to be up there. I'm not sure who else is up there.
Wish.
Flash fell down. Wishbone. Wishbone could certainly snag it. So Mama and Wishbone, I would think. Spaceman dropped a couple today to Ox, so he might be dropped down a touch. I mean, you don't have to lose very many games to fall out of that conversation. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, that line for 1 and 2 seed to get that playoff bye in the XBL right now is 6 losses. Wishbone has 6, MJ has 6, I believe. I think Spaceman has 7 now, and Ox is sitting at 6. So it's really a run differential and a head-to-head sort of thing for him. And Zlat's down there. I don't know. I can't pull up the standings right now to look, but I think he drops into the 14 spot now. And if he's in the 14, that's how many make it. And right on his heels, I'm pretty sure is Snowbird, who is plenty strong, Dynasty, who's really a strong batter that could get on a hot streak, and No Name, who has plenty of games left in hand, along with AJ, who obviously can beat some top-end players. So there's a lot of movement to be had down there for Zlat.
Yeah, I think the wild card is No Name because his number of games, and he is he's plenty good enough to run off, 5 out of 6, 7 out of 10, something like that. And at that level, those teams down there don't have that many wins. I think Zlat has 9. So I think No Name is definitely the spoiler once he gets his buns in here and plays his games. Snow's played. I hope Snow makes the playoffs because Snow has had a good season. Of course, my man AJ, I want to see get in there, but same with Zlat. So I guess there isn't anybody I don't want to see in there. But I think No Name is the fly in the ointment potentially for someone who's right at that bottom 15 or 16, or 11 or 12.
Yeah, and what's really painful if you're Zlat is he was in the playoffs last year until No Name came in that last week and started playing, and No Name spoiled it and took his playoff spot. And the same scenario is in hand right now. If you're Zlat, you're sitting there thinking, man, No Name, don't do it to me again. And he doesn't help himself, obviously, losing both of these here tonight. But regardless, we had an awesome AA match of the week. Me and Mist were on Thursday, and then we see 2 more close games here tonight. That's what you want to see on these match of weeks, is just close games that come down to the end and both teams there with a chance to take it. And tomorrow, like I said, we have AAA with Fireball and Corn. So I'll give you your last word. If you want to, you're the AAA guy and you're not going to be in the booth with me tomorrow. So you got any quick keys you want to talk about for that AAA one? Any quick shout outs?
First thing is I'm just shocked that Corn didn't have a better season. I don't think he's even right now it doesn't even look like he's going to make the playoff, which to me is not a talent issue. I don't know what is going on with Corn. I'm probably going to end up playing Max, so it's probably going to be me versus Max in the first round. So I'm definitely going to be watching that match of the week and scouting that match of the week, whether I cast it or not. I think I'm the backup caster for that, but it's going to be fun. Max is always fun to watch. Korn is actually pretty fun to watch too. He's a little bit wild, but he can really get going at the dish. Pitching is a bit average. You could say the same for Max. So I think there's going to be some action in that set.
Yeah, I agree. And both guys, I think, really flash the potential to have a top-end level bat when they're peaking. It's more of a consistency sort of thing for both of them. So it's who are you going to get on Match of the Week? Are you going to get both of them meeting at their peak at the same time? I sure hope so, because that'd be an epic ball game. But yeah, that's what we've got lined out for tomorrow, that AAA Match of the Week, I believe at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, like we normally do on Sundays, just the one game. So the weekend's filled up sporadically throughout this week on our final regular season week of Match of the Weeks. But tonight, good job by Ox, good job by Zlat. Both showed that they're very much great pitchers and both showed that they can hang in there and play tough games. Ox gets the sweep 2-0 against Zlat. A few games left in hand for both of these guys. It'll be interesting to see how the playoffs shape up here in this final stretch for all three leagues before we get into the playoffs. So for me, it was fun casting. It was some great ball games. Good job to both the players. Thanks for recording. And we'll see y'all tomorrow on AAA Match of the Week. Until then, catch y'all on the Discord. Have a good night.